You're going to have to remind me what I said last time, because we could be having the exact same conversation. I don't remember.
I refreshed a little bit.
Okay.
I hate re-listening to my old podcast, dude.
Yeah, that's tough. I can only imagine.
Like, I can do my own stand-up because at least it's like, okay, it's not an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours long.
And it might be a little different every time.
Yeah, and I'm learning. You know what I mean? I'm learning to get my stand-up better and I'm all that kind of stuff. But, like, I'm not going to watch this back. Unless I absolutely have to. And even if I do, like, I was rewatching the first one that we did. I just skipped past myself.
Oh, okay.
I can't fucking...
Damn.
No.
See, now we got to work on that for you, because that feels like something you need to address, because you shouldn't have that kind of reaction when you come up. I mean, it's analogous. I mean, I don't have a podcast, but I had that with stand-up clips. Yeah. And you just get over it, you know. I don't know. You've been doing this a long time, so I was going to say you'll get over it with time, but maybe not.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I will, to be honest with you. Because I love doing it, and is there something about, maybe it's like, I haven't thought about this out loud either. Maybe.
We're breaking new ground. It's good.
This is going to be a good pod. This is a real breakthrough.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's strange watching myself, like, try to form thoughts in real time. At least stand-up is kind of prepared. Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say it would be easier to watch that if you ended up in a good place. If you were watching back and you're like, oh yeah, I did well with this thought. Yeah, things ended up connecting. But if you're watching it back and you're like, yeah, I never got anywhere with this. I can't fucking watch this. But with stand-up, at least for me, maybe people always struggle with that, but I got over that. I was like, because it matters a lot, I would say. When I would read a lot about that, or I'd hear people say, like, you just have to do it. And for a long while, I was thinking, you know, maybe I'm different and I don't have to. I'll figure out how to be funny without doing that. And no, it really makes a difference, because eventually you will run into an audience, or you'll run into a night where you do your set that has worked before. You'll do your favorite joke that has always worked, and it won't work, and then you have to go back to the drawing board. And if you have been watching, or at least keeping up with how you look and how you sound, and facial expressions, body language, it all goes into it. And so there's something, like I had something earlier this year where I was like, I've had like a bad 2 weeks. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And I'll start with just listening to it, then I'll watch it. But I noticed I was just like, I'm a tick too fast. It was just as simple as that. I was like, I'm just going too fast, and just adjusting from there.
Yeah.
And
it's also easier to rewatch your stuff when you do well. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I finally had a really, like, I did okay the first time I did Dry Heat. I feel like I did okay. But this past Saturday, I did well. And I was fucking shocked.
Mazel tov.
Like, in the moment, I was shocked. But then, like, rewatching it and, like, taking notes and all that stuff made definitely an easier pill to swallow.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of feel the opposite, but maybe it's just, like, I get that for sure. Like, if you weren't expecting to do as well as you did, and you sort of just exceeded your own expectations, that would be fun. I feel like when I have a great set, I don't, maybe this is incorrect, but I'm like, I don't need to watch that. I know what I did well. But maybe that's holding me back from taking another step forward. But because I'll just think to myself, I felt great about that. I don't want to revisit it and then start nitpicking and thinking like, it wasn't as good as I thought. I just want it to be good in my mind.
Well, but then you could like find things that are already compounded on just to build upon those.
Yeah, I should probably do it. I mean, I'm contradicting myself, but yeah, you should just suck it up and do it. But if podcasts are different, I mean, you're not going to watch 2 hours, 3 hours back. It's
rough.
That's crazy. But yeah, to what the reason that came up is I have no idea what I said the first time here, so we could have the same conversation.
Probably.
Yeah,
it could happen.
Cool. I'm fine with that.
The roast that you and I were both on last Wednesday.
Yeah.
That on the opposite side of doing well. I am still like, what the fuck happened?
Well,
because like there's one thing I've been able to like be happy about like consistently in stand up until that night, that even if I bomb, I've never frozen up.
Yeah.
I have never done that. And I don't know what the fuck it was, but I got 2 jokes out rather.
Yeah.
They did okay. That was also a very
easy. But you
easy,
had more.
Yeah, it was also a very easy room.
Sure, yeah.
But I mean, when someone can get up on stage and just say, "All right, colonizer," and get a pop, come on, that's an easy room.
Yeah, that was that. At that point, they were just riding on the energy that had already.
But the fact that the first 2 jokes of the room were mine, and they still got laughs when they weren't. I got a laugh on a setup. Like I was rewatching the footage of it. Like, okay, well I fucked up, but like let me see if these 2 went well.
Yeah,
it's like okay, but yeah, I just froze the. I was like, what the fuck?
That's a bad feeling. Yeah. I knew it happened to you as soon as it happened because you had like 6 or 7 jokes. You did 2, and you were like, there was like just a beat, and you were like, that's it. And I was like, oh man, he had more. He knows he had more. Yeah, but that
whole show went well. Like overall, that was a fun show.
It was chaotic, man. Everyone I talked to said it was more fun than they were expecting it to be.
Oh, for
sure. So I was stressed. I had fun, but I don't know why I felt stressed because I love the roast battles, but just maybe it was because I felt like I was in charge just because I was a captain. And so maybe it was probably because like during half the roast battles, I was like leaning over being like, okay, do you have anything for this person going next? No? Okay, fuck, we're fucked. And I miss like half the jokes. So like everyone's having a great time. The room's good. Room's hot. Everyone's enjoying it. Some good back and forth. But half the time I was like strategizing because I was like, we gotta win, and you're not prepared. Fuck. I told you to write jokes. You didn't fucking write jokes. You don't have anything for AJ. He's fat as fuck. Here, take mine. Jesus. But
that's funny.
It was good.
It's cool that you give a shit, dude.
That's cool. I wanted to win, but it doesn't matter.
Dude, that fucking joke against Josh at the end.
That was wild.
Very, like, on paper, simply written, but the fucking execution was perfect.
Well, it was a pretty big swing because, like I was saying just a minute ago, like the longer you go without, it was a long setup, and so that joke has to hit, and you're building anticipation. I was holding attention, which is good because that's another depends on the room, but if you do, there's certain rooms you just can't do a joke like that because it was like a minute setup of silence, no jokes.
For all, intents and purposes, you shouldn't have been able to do that joke in that room and got the reaction you did.
I mean,
it's an old town, bunch of white people.
It was very loud. It was very drunk, but I mean,
it's great.
Call it whatever. I mean, it was just some white colonizer magic. It's like, hey, I'm the boss, and you're gonna listen for 60 seconds, then you're gonna laugh. Just trust me on this. Go with me. But I'm the boss. Just look at. I mean, I have the hair and the face. You're gonna listen. But it was, it was fun. I did it when I roasted Josh in the regular roast battles. I did a joke like that. So, and I didn't have a ton for him. So I was like, if I go against Josh, I'll just do this. I'll try it. But I didn't. I thought it was good, but I didn't expect it to. I mean, it was like prison riot behavior. People, like Cardomad was doing cartwheels. It was fucking crazy. Like people were standing on tables. That was nuts. I've never had anyone react like that to any joke I've ever told. But with just the situation of that night, it worked pretty well. And credit to Josh because, well, like I said about the colonizer joke that whoever it was made, like you can, especially in a show like that, in a context like that, you can kind of coast off of energy that's already been created. And so I felt like part of why that joke worked is because Josh gave me some good shit. So Josh went first. He had some good jokes on me. The crowd's like, there's he's creating the arc, right? He's building. This guy better have some good shit to come back with him because he's getting some. If Josh had come out and just done nothing or shat the bed, my joke doesn't work as well. So like right. he set it. His part of why it worked well was he set it up with some good initial punchlines. And people were like, okay, this is gonna be a good. And so it just brought my thing to the next crazy cartwheel type of level. But yeah, it was fun. I mean. You talking about how you froze up. Honestly, that's a good. If you're trying to get better at comedy, that's a rite of passage. I mean,
oh yeah,
that's gonna happen.
Oh yeah,
that's a bad spot for it to happen because you obviously want it to do well and it's a full room. You'd rather that happen at a mic where there's 3 people there, but it's inevitable. I mean, anyone who's ever done comedy, I'm sure, has had that moment at least once. And if you're any good at it, you have it once, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna work so that never happens again. Because I remember when it happened for me, and it just made it. I was so fucking butthurt about it.
Do you remember where it was at?
Yeah, and again, this might have been a story I told on the last pod, but it was the first time I went out of town to do comedy ever. So I went to Denver, and it was in a room at a great show. I think it still happens, but it's like a weekly show. It's free, which is the kind of thing that here it would suck or it would probably be tough to fill. But in that city, there's just comedy fans. So it's like I was shocked that it was packed and everybody was crushing, and the crowd is just sitting on the edge of their seats, their face right in the front of their head, just sort of laughing their asses off. And I was still new, and I was like, I've never seen a room like this. It was better than a comedy club almost, because it was intimate but packed, and everyone's crushing so hard. First time doing comedy somewhere else, and I'm like, this is what I want. I want comedy to feel like this. Never feels like this. Is fucking amazing. And I went up, and I was doing well, and I wasn't nervous at all, and I just felt like I can do this. I can go with the flow. I can do my shit. And I was trying to add a joke in that it was like a new tag or something, which is rough to do if you're, in an unfamiliar space. You're new, you're a little apprehensive. Even if you don't think you're nervous, you're probably a little nervous. So I was trying to add a tag in, and I just got lost. I was like, no, what comes after this? Something else comes after this.
Like the muscle memory got changed and
exactly.
thrown off.
I was like, I always do it this way, but no, I said I was going to do so. And just that 1 second of hesitation is fucking, then panic. It just opens the gap. Panic flies in. Standing there thinking, I think I even checked my notes, which, kill yourself. I mean, what the fuck am I doing? In that kind of room, like, oh, geez.
In any show.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That any show where you pull
I know you feel strongly about it, and people do have strong feelings about that. I don't feel that strongly about it, but at a mic or whatever, do whatever the fuck you want. But at a show where people they expect money to be a good show, they want, yeah. You shouldn't. I mean,
if you're going to a place with comedy club in its name, and you're using notes,
have some professionalism.
There's an issue.
Some respect.
There's a real. Anyway,
but
go back to your story.
I think I pulled it out just because I was like, I was so lost. It spiraled where I was like, I forgot my next joke, and now I forgot all my jokes. I forgot my name. I don't know where I am.
How many years into this for you?
It was probably like 2 years in. I mean, it was
so still new.
Yeah, and it was new in this. Maybe I wasn't that new to comedy. I mean, 2 years, you're a baby, but I was new in the sense that it was like that was a newer experience for me, out of town in a room where people actually like. I've only done comedy in New Mexico where it's always an uphill battle, and this was downhill. People were like, "Yeah, we want to laugh. We like that you're doing little clever little jokes. Fuck yeah." And I was just, it was working so well that it threw me off. Like some people will have that freeze because they're bombing. Like, oh, that joke didn't work, and now I'm fucked. I don't know what's next. And then that just compounds the issue. For me, it was the opposite. I was doing better than I expected. Jokes were getting laughs that never got laughs here. Like I was getting laughs on setups. I was like, yeah, I wrote that. And I wrote it because I thought it was funny. It's never gotten a laugh. I always say it. No one ever laughs. You guys are laughing. Holy shit. And then, it fell apart. But it was motivating for me because I was, really, really pissed off. I like to think I'm competitive with myself. And so I was just mad that I wasn't prepared for that. But comedy is all about having that kind of fuck up, having that kind of experience, having that kind of weird medium nothing experience, and then thinking, okay, next time that happens, I will do something funnier, and like just building on everything. And so that has to happen.
See, because I've wanted to try the roast, but I've been terrified of them. Just absolutely fucking mortified.
You haven't done one at Revel?
No.
Oh, okay. I guess I thought you had.
And and then Monkey hit me up about that, and I was like, sure. You know what? Fuck it. I didn't expect 70 people to be there.
No,
But
and I told him that, and I'm glad that you said that, because when I was talking to him about the format, I was like, this is good because it will bring people like you, or I'm sure there were others in that lineup who haven't done a roast battle one-on-one, but are like, I can do a minute. If it's just
That's
a
exactly
minute,
how
I'm
I
part
felt
of a
about it.
team, I can
Yeah.
do a minute. Like, I might be afraid about doing 5 rounds, 200 people at Revel, judge all that shit, but I can do a minute. And so
that's
I like
exactly
that it was
my fucking mindset. Because I was like, I've eaten the dick for 5 straight minutes at
Right.
an open mic. I can
What's
do
one?
2 minutes of bombing where half of that time is me getting shit on. That's
Sure.
fine. I
Yeah.
can do that.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
And I hope that more people, I hope there were a lot of comics in the room that night, and I hope they saw it. And it was fun. It got a little wonky at the end, but for the most part.
1 minute break turned into 10-minute breaks and turned into 15-minute
Yeah,
breaks.
God bless Caleb. He got a little drunk by the end. I think it started falling apart, but it was good. It was good, and then it was weird, but weird in a fun way. But also there were some race war undertones happening, and I was like,
Look at fucking Jared's walking around with the dry erase board.
he didn't help. He was inciting. If something had gone down, I would testify to the fact that he was inciting. But it was off the rails in a fun way. Off the rails can be fun, but I would say, and I told Caleb this, so I don't have a problem saying it, like the structure needs to be a little more tight, and that can be an amazing show. I mean, we had a fun show, but it was almost by the grace of God at certain points. If you tighten the format, he's got something that'll, I think, become a good part of the scene here. It was fun.
Well, and I think you and I were having this conversation a while ago about, because the June 15th show that I'm putting on that you're going to open for.
June 15th.
Very
Safe House Distillery. I don't know if this is coming out after that. If it does,
I think it'll come out right before.
Okay, I think. Be there.
Yeah. Otherwise, it went fucking. All of it went great. No fuck ups. No nothing.
Holy shit! I killed.
Yeah.
Noah killed. Everybody else, funniest sets I've ever seen. Honestly, you missed out.
Yeah.
Come to the next one.
And I'm just, like I said, I think we're having this conversation about it where it's like, I'm just glad there's a newer show. And that's why I wanted to do like a comedy show, but like something that's not just, hey, you're going to see 4 to 6 comedians go up and make jokes. Like just something a little different.
I do think, I remember you making that point, and I think it's totally valid, because I love comedy. I'll go to a comedy show wherever. I'll do comedy wherever. There is a saturation point, probably. I don't know what it is, for maybe a town probably any town, of just straight up and down comedy. Maybe a place like Chicago has it's bigger, there's more people, there's different venues. You could just do, hey, I'm going to do 4 comics, 1 headliner doing, 35 minutes or whatever, $10 cover. You can have 100 of those. Here, maybe 5. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're hitting our limit.
Yeah, so...
and especially, I think it's a mixture of the amount of venues that are willing to do it. Not just venues that we have, but just the venues that are willing to do it. And then it's the low amount of active comedians, and then the quality of the show. So I think all those kind of tied together, it's like, okay, if we are going to put on a show, it's something a little bit different. And I do not want to come off as someone with an inflated ego, because I don't know how well I'm going to do on that show. However, I have all the faith in absolutely everybody that I've booked.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if I'm going to eat a dick, I'll live with that. But I don't want to attach, this does sound vain, but I don't want to attach myself. I don't be the guy that books just anybody.
No, I think that's a good standard to have. We need more of that. But I also credit to you for doing something. You want to do a show, but you want to make it fun for you, not just to do a show. Like, I'm not going to call people out, because that's not even the point I'm trying to make. But if you don't do a show just because you want to have a show. You know what I mean? Like, do a show because you're like, I could do it well, and I want it to be fun for me.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to keep doing it. If it's fun for you, you're going to keep doing it. I want it to be something that's interesting to me, something that I like, with comics I like. And when it's not fun, I'll stop doing it. Or if it doesn't work, we'll find another venue or whatever. But you don't want to sometimes you walk into a comedy show and you're like, there's no life behind this. Like, the person running it is just sort of like, I'm running it because I always run it. or I've been doing it a long time, or whatever. And you want to have, then mix it up, like do a different format. Like you're doing a different format. So, and it doesn't have to be a different format. You can do just straight up and down, just a couple openers, headliner, great. One opener, big headliner from out of town, big venue, whatever. But do it with intention. Yeah.
That's the point of it too, is intention. And just being completely transparent, it's not my original idea. I saw a proof of concept in Austin, and I was like, okay. And I was telling fucking Maverick when I was out there, I was like, this needs to be in Albuquerque.
Sure.
Because it's so fucking good. So I'm hoping it goes well. I'm sure. I know it's not gonna, like, unless nobody fucking shows up, I know it's not gonna bomb or anything like that.
No.
But I would like to build that relationship with that venue between myself, AJ, and them, and kind of just go from there.
And it's a pretty small patio. I mean,
Yeah.
you get 15 people there, it'll be a fucking rock and rolling time.
Exactly.
And when you told me about the show, you said, like, yeah, I saw it in Austin. And I was like, I think what I said at the time was awesome. Like, people, you do not need to reinvent the wheel if you're trying to do a concept show of any kind. It's been done somewhere else. Steal it. Give them credit. Like, it's not... They'd probably be honored if you were like, hey, this is a ripoff of XYZ. I saw it in Nashville. It fucking rocks. I want to bring it here. Whatever. Cool. More people should do that. Like, there's so many awesome comedy scenes. Do it here. If it works somewhere else, that's just proof that it has legs,
No, exactly. And between putting that together, even though I ate a dick doing that roast show, but even like writing for the roast, I was like, oh shit, like this is kind of fun. Like writing for it. And then the long story short of the story is the opportunity came up to be on the roast at the end of the month at Revel.
Oh, yeah.
So myself and AJ got added to it.
I think that's why I thought you had done one, because I saw you on the poster for the next one.
No, we're not even on the poster yet.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah. We literally just got added, I think, a week ago.
I'm just wrong, man.
Yeah.
But
no, I think I talked to you about it or something
Maybe.
like that. But anyway, my point is like that got me excited for this. I was like, okay, that's what it feels like to freeze up. I'll say yes to this.
Yeah.
Like let's fucking
and also
do it.
that's and we don't have to keep going back to that, but it is that happened. That sucked. I told my story about that happening. It sucked. You're not dead, Like,
Oh, yeah.
you still had a fun night, I would hope.
Oh,
like,
fuck
yeah.
that was a fun ass
And
night.
you've done comedy since. You're not hiding in the closet, like crying in the corner, fucking in the fetal position or whatever. You're like, it's not that bad. It's honestly freeing. I mean, Colbert had some interview a long time ago when he was like like his Second City days, talking about embracing the bomb. And I read that, and it took me a while to get what he meant. Like, I had to have experiences that sort of aligned with that for me to understand it. Because he has wisdom around it, how it's like, embrace it, If it's not going well, you should have fun regardless, And it's tough, obviously, in a roast format.
Yeah.
Freeze up, whatever, you're out. You can't come back. But in imagine it happens in your opening joke.
Yeah, like a 15-minute
at
set.
Dry Heat last weekend.
Yeah.
You got to fucking figure it out,
Yeah.
Like but then it happens and it sucks, and you're looking out at 110 people and you're like, man, oh man, I want to die. I want to crawl into a hole. I got to figure it out. And you sink or swim. Like, there's got to be I can only speak from my experience. Like, I have been able to, in those moments, a joke doesn't go well, whatever it is, something goes sideways, somebody's drunk and they're ruining the show, whatever. You got to make it fun.